is Mike, Seder 42 Vinyl. Gonna do a video of my alternative rock and indie rock pickups for February 2024. And this is gonna be albums that were released from 1999 and back. So the first album I got is it's a power pop album, and it's called Owsley. I heard of these guys through Omaha Introvert. She showed this record, I believe, or maybe she showed this on CD. And this just got reissued not too long ago, July 2023, on vinyl. I believe this is Real Gone Music. Really catchy stuff here, really hooky choruses, really good stuff. This guy is no longer with us, unfortunately. He passed, so it really sucks because he was a great songwriter. This album is fairly cheap online. It's not very expensive, brand new. You can get it on Discogs cheap, and I think I got my copy. I want to say I got it from Amazon. I think Amazon still had a few that were really cheap, that were under like 20 bucks. Very, very worth getting. Owsley, if you want some 1990s, late 90s power pop. And I think this was kind of like, people really liked this album when it came out. Yeah, it just needed a vinyl release.
Oh, now the radio is playing that song again. I wish I could forget the day when we had a favorite record playing. We sang the words until your hair brushed and gave Donnie and Marie the bums rush. When the bad lady started singing, it was over and my ears were ringing. Our song, my favorite dedication, is going number one across the nation. Oh, now the radio, another hit and morning.
Another Real Gone Music I got here, and I finally got this picked up. This is the Donnas. This is the early singles, 95 to 99. I actually missed out on this on Record Store Day. My record store that I went to didn't actually get it, and then subsequently I went around to some other stores and they didn't have it either. So it sold out pretty quickly. And then for some reason on Discogs, this album in particular, maybe there were a bunch of different albums, maybe a bunch of different Record Store Day releases, but there was a bunch of scammers trying to sell this album for like anywhere from 50 to 60 bucks when it was selling for like 100, just trying to get people to buy it. And I hope that didn't work very often. But yeah, Real Gone Music was on top of this. They knew it was in demand, so they repressed it, and I was able to get the repress. And the repress came on dark purple, so that's kind of what it looks like. All right, good album. All early singles, or just singles in general from these guys. Stuff that wasn't on album releases, B-sides, covers, things like that. It's a fun listen. It's, more of a completionist thing to have in a way, but yeah, still good. Donnas are fun. They're just a fun punk rock band.
Though I know all about those girls, still I don't remember. 'Cause it was us, baby, way before then, and we're still together. And I meant every word I said when I said that I love you. I meant that I'd love you forever. And I'm gonna keep on loving you, 'cause it's the only thing I wanna do. I don't wanna sleep, I just wanna keep on loving you.
All right, this album I heard about, I watched me in Power Pop, right? I watched some videos. This was I think the Contrarians, or no, this was on Sea of Tranquility. One of the web pages one of the YouTubers that I watch, he had a bunch of people on there, including Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater, talking about his favorite Power Pop albums. And they were just naming up all kinds of stuff. And I have an album from this band, but I didn't have this album. And this album is definitely more power pop. I think this is the power poppiest of this band. And this is ReddKross, and this is the album called Show World. This album, again, incredibly cheap online. It's not very expensive. I think I got it for like 20 bucks or less. And that's brand new. And this is a repress from 2020, May 2020. Really, really catchy stuff here in that power pop vein of the, like I said, again, late 70s, early 80s. kind of mixed in with the 70s a little bit, but really, really, really fun stuff here. I'm enjoying this a lot. I've listened to it a few times. This album in particular is almost every song has a great hook on it. So it's a really good addition for anybody who doesn't have this album in their power pop collection. And that album, I think it was like more well known to other people than it was to me. I wasn't aware. All right, another album I got here is the Plimsouls. This is an original press. My local store had this. This has been on my list for a while. Really good here. This is early 80s power pop / alternative rock, kind of. And this is kind of maybe in the category of the replacements as well. You know, like it's not straight up power pop, although it does have the, you know, some of the jangly guitars, some of the hooks, but they do a little bit of post-punk, you know, attitude kind of, and they're not always writing hooks on this album, but still, it was a good listen. And original presses, I think I got this for like $25-30, so it wasn't that expensive, but a little bit more expensive than, you know, some of the other power pop that you can get over like $5 or $10, and that's A-list power pop too. Power pop is one of the cheapest genres of music that you can get on vinyl. It really is. So many of the albums are under like 10 or $15. It's really crazy. All right, this is another one. I got this album for like $5. This is Phil Seymour. He's writing just some, you know, early 80s, kind of new wave-ish power pop here, some keyboards elements in here as well. Really good stuff, really fun. Lots of catchy tunes on here. Not the best, you know, this is like mid-tier, I would say. You know, this isn't top-tier power pop, but it's still really good stuff. Really fun to listen to, and just, you know, catchy, hooky choruses, interesting, fun stuff. All right, this one, I kind of bought this just to complete my collection. I bought all the Good Rats albums, and this is Live at Last. I'm not a huge fan of live albums, but I did listen to this, and I did kind of enjoy it. I think they did a pretty good job live here. I'm kind of warming up to more live albums. It's just that, you know, I think they don't all just appeal to me. I'm just not going to buy any live album. But to complete my Good Rats collection, and this album goes for like $5 or $10. It's not expensive. There's, there's a bunch out there, and it was just a good deal at like $5 or $10. Some good songs on here, some of their classics, Take It to Detroit, things like that, Injun Joe, lots of really good songs here. There's 2 songs on here, really long versions, long version of Injun Joe and one long version of Let Me, which I thought was interesting. I'm not saying that works every time, but on this, I think it worked. All right, the last couple. These 2 are kind of related in a way too. I got this David Bowie. This is Diamond Dogs. I got this as a replacement copy. Honestly, I had a copy that was on a Dynaflex, and it was just trashed. It was not in very good shape. It had a lot of popping on it, a lot of scratches. So I got a replacement copy. I got this from Whatnot. This is actually the UK release, so it's kind of cool. It has the little poster in there as well, and it comes with this green label, which is different than the US releases. Good album. Not my favorite Bowie album, but there are some good songs on here, and yeah, it's David Bowie, so a good album here. And related, this is the American David Bowie. This guy, it's Jobriath, I believe, or Jobriath. I don't know how you say his name. This guy is interesting. I mean, he sounds a lot like Bowie when he came out. People were saying, I guess, in reviews and stuff like that, he's the American David Bowie. Really good songs on here. I mean, he is kind of writing in the style of David Bowie, in that glam rock style. I don't think he's cribbing like 100%, but the comparison is not, it's not off base, to say that this guy sounds like David Bowie or is trying to, sound like David Bowie in a way. But he is doing some original stuff here. The songs are good. And I was really surprised to find this album. This album it's kind of hard to find, but it's funny because I don't know if this happens to other people, but, if you flip through the bins of your local store and you've gone through it, there's records that are just going to be there for months, if not years, right? Some of the same stuff over and over and over again. And sometimes you pass things that you don't know what they are, so you just keep going. But then later on, when you find out what they are, maybe you recognize the album cover, you're like, holy shit, I saw that at my local record store. I'm going to go pick that up now. Hopefully it's still there, right? You can discover a band that way, like way after the fact. And that kind of happened with this. I think my local store had this in his shop for a while, and he just had it in the J's, just sitting there, and I probably passed it a dozen times until I figured out who this was and started listening to him online. And yeah, and then he still had the record there, so I ended up picking it up. I got it for like $20. So it was kind of a steal. This record doesn't always go for $20, but yeah, I don't think it's hard to find. It's just that people know what it is and they kind of price it a little bit more online anyway. Really good stuff here. I've enjoyed this the few times that I've listened to this, and I think it's pretty good. I like the glam rock. I like glam metal. I like all that glam stuff, the 70s hard rock stuff that's kind of like that.
Won't the dancing begin without you? Do you have to put on your eyes for me? Be still, I love you. Now be still. We walk through space in the twilight hours. But did you really see the stars set? In your restless eyes I found the city lights. But still, I love you. Come on now.
I kind of like finding these oddball bands that are, sound like other bands but are their own thing. I mean, yes, I could listen to David Bowie, but I've listened to David Bowie 100 times. I've only listened to Jobriath like a couple times, so it's kind of fresh. And that's kind of why I like some of these bands that emulate, crib, rip off, steal, whatever you want to say, some of these older bands, because some of those older bands aren't going to write music anymore in that style. So to have new music or music that you haven't heard yet in that style, it's kind of cool. I think it's fine. I like that in a way. I guess some bands can do it, too much, like if you're really ripping off riffs and things like that, or songs from that artist, maybe that's a problem. But if you're doing your own thing, you're writing your own riffs and melodies, but in the style of that band, I think that that's completely fine. I think that's completely perfect. People said that about that Led Zeppelin band, the Greta Van Fleet, things like that. Yes, they do sound like Led Zeppelin, but they're writing original tunes and they're not like ripping off constantly, Led Zeppelin riffs. So I think that stuff's fine. Anyway, small little rant there. Thanks for watching. That's all I'm going to have for February 2024. That's everything I picked up, 40 albums. If you watched all the metal videos and now this one, you've seen everything I picked up. Which I might do March next because March just finished and April's starting, and I picked up 40 albums in March as well. I'm going to try to slow down, guys. I swear. I'm telling that to myself and to you to keep me in check. Although I do have about 5 albums that are on pre-order that I know are going to show up probably before the end of the month. So we'll have to wait and see. All right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. Likes and comments are the best thing that you can do because that will, the algorithm likes that more than just views. So, if you can like, subscribe, and comment, that would be great. And thanks for watching. Bye.